All right, so today we're really diving into the deep end, right? Design, tech, creativity. This artificial fluency piece, it really gets you thinking about how we create in this digital world.
Yeah, it's a lot to unpack. You've definitely got your finger on the pulse, sensing how these fields all, weave together.
It's fascinating. And one thing that struck me is how design, it's not just about making things pretty or even functional anymore. It's like a whole different beast.
You hit the nail on the head. The source makes this point. Design in the 21st century, it's about systems, about how humans interact. They even call it systems literacy.
Okay, systems literacy, that sounds a little academic maybe.
So basically it means understanding how parts of a system talk to each other. Think about it like grammar, right? Good grammar helps us communicate clearly. Systems literacy is like that, but for design, making sure designs work smoothly with human behavior and all that. And this is where cybernetics comes into play.
Cybernetics, huh? Now, every time I hear that word, I get this sci-fi movie image in my head. Robots.
No need to worry, no robot overlords in this deep dive. Cybernetics, in this context, it's more about systems with goals and feedback loops. Think of a thermostat. It uses feedback to keep the temperature stable.
So are you saying designers need to channel their inner thermostat programmer?
In a way, yeah. Because design is becoming more about creating systems that adapt and learn based on, you guessed it, feedback. The source uses conversation a lot to describe this process.
Conversation, huh? So we're talking about more than just a static design, but like a system that has this ongoing dialogue with the user. It changes and evolves over time.
You got it. And what's really neat is how the source breaks down conversation.
Yeah.
It says effective conversation has to be circular, it's got to be goal-oriented, and it's all about the context.
Yeah, that makes sense, even in our regular conversations, right? We're always responding to each other, trying to like get on the same page.
Exactly. And that back and forth, that iterative process, that's a big part of how design works now. Designers talking with each other, getting feedback from users, presenting to stakeholders. It's a constant dialogue.
So design is this kind of like living conversation now, always changing and growing, not just some lone genius off in their own world.
Exactly. And here's where it gets really wild. This whole conversation idea, it ties into how the source talks about computation. And it's not just about ones and zeros, like computers spitting out numbers.
I gotta be honest, computation always makes my eyes glaze over a little bit.
I hear you. Think of it this way. The source wants us to see computation as this link between meaning and mechanism. How systems, our brains, software, whatever, how they take information and then actually do something with it.
So it's like computation is how we go from thought to action.
Boom. You got it. And this is true for us, humans, A&D for artificial intelligence. The source is big on this. Both types of intelligence, they use this bigger idea of computation to make sense of things, set goals, and create.
Okay, now we're getting to the good stuff. We've got design, conversation, computation, but what about AI, the big kahuna?
And here's where the source throws a curveball. It brings in these literary heavy hitters, Jorge Luis Borges, Umberto Eco. Might seem random, but they actually help us grasp how AI plays into design, especially these large language models.
Okay, you're going to have to connect those dots for me. How does Borges's Library of Babel relate to AI?
Picture this massive library, right? Every possible combination of words, every story ever told, even the ones not written yet. That's the Library of Babel. Now think about these large language models, LLMs. They've absorbed tons of text. They're like that library able to create almost endless amounts of text.
So are these LLMs just remixing what they've already seen? Are they really being creative?
The million-dollar question, right?
Yeah.
Something Borges wrestled with. Where does originality come from? The source points out that these models, they're like storytellers throughout history. They take what exists and make something new.
So tapping into this well of stories, creating something that feels fresh but still familiar. But where does Umberto Eco fit into all of this? He seems a bit more intellectual.
That's where semiotics comes in the study of signs and symbols. Eco argued that meaning isn't just in a text, it's something we create as readers, using our own experiences.
So even if an AI writes a beautiful poem or a news article, it doesn't really get those deeper human emotions, the complexities.
And that's huge as we enter this world where AI can sound so human. We got to be critical thinkers, question where information is coming from.
Yeah. It's like that saying, don't believe everything you read, but on a whole other level now, with AI in the mix.
Totally. Which leads us to this. If AI can make stuff that looks and sounds human-made, what does that mean for the future of design itself?
Now that's what I'm talking about. Are we headed towards AI calling all the shots in the design world? AI calling the shots in design? a scary thought, to be honest.
Yeah, it's a big one. The source doesn't pretend to have all the answers, but it does hint at a future where AI is more of a partner. The idea of prompting design comes up.
Prompting design. Okay, now you're speaking my language. Tell me more.
So you know how we use prompts with those large language models to guide their writing?
Yeah.
It's similar with design. We give the AI prompts, frameworks, some goals to steer its creative output.
So less about, hey, AI, design me a website, and more like a back and forth, working with the AI to shape the design.
Exactly. The source even gets into the nitty-gritty. Instructions are key. Rationales, even exemplars like showing the AI examples of good design to learn from.
Like we're teaching it the language of design, giving it the tools to actually be a creative partner.
Huh.
There's still a lot to think about, right? Ethically.
Absolutely. Just because we can use AI in design doesn't mean we always should. We haven't figured it all out yet.
Yeah, we've talked about how design is about systems that impact people's lives. So how do we make sure AI design is done responsibly?
That's the question, isn't it? The source really emphasizes that we need to keep talking about this, keep reflecting as we go deeper into this world of AI and design.
It's not just about what's possible, but what kind of world we want to create with these tools.
100%. And this isn't just for techies or designers. It's something we all need to be thinking about.
That's a powerful message. As we wrap up this deep dive, what are the big takeaways you want our listeners to remember?
First off, design is changing fast. It's not just about aesthetics anymore. It's about systems, interactions, shaping experiences.
And what else?
Computation, that whole interplay of meaning and mechanism. It's at the heart of both human and artificial intelligence, and it's going to be huge for the future of design.
And lastly?
This is a big one. The rise of AI, especially these large language models, they come with amazing possibilities, but also real challenges. It's on all of us to be thoughtful to have these conversations, make sure AI is used to make things better for everyone.
On that note, we'll leave you with this. The future of design, of creativity, how we interact with technology, it's not set in stone. We shape it with every choice we make, every conversation we have. So stay curious, stay engaged, and keep asking those big questions.